So we use video a lot in our advertising, and that's because our advertisements will get more attention if there's video. It allows people to either tell their story or make people aware of something, educate them, or to be able to share something that you wouldn't necessarily know about an environment. I prefer to shoot in whatever person's native element, meaning if it's a background that we want of the Flint Hills or their work environment, I always prefer to be out there because to me, by just doing that, it draws a picture for who that person is. If they've got a hard hat on or if they've got a ball cap and they're a farmer or a rancher.
So when we're making a video, I think the key is to craft a story that snags people and gets them invested very quickly. The other side of that is telling a story that matches the client's brand, vision, voice. I think that when people watch videos, especially when they watch them repeatedly, it's because they've sort of built a relationship with the person or the people in the video. So when we're making a series of videos, we're trying to create a relationship between the audience member and the brand, the company, the person in the video. We're trying to create that relationship as quickly as possible and tell a story that the audience is going to be interested to hear.
When we create videos, the very first questions that we always ask the customers, what are some of the objectives that we're going to try to hit with these videos? What are you going to use it for? In other words, what are the platforms are you going to use it on? Are they using it to say who they are, or do they want to attract employees? Are they using it to sell a product?
Each of these requires a slightly different approach, and that's part of why it's just very important to be crystal clear. What's our objective with the video? What's our core message? And what's the call to action as well? What do we want the public to do? Whether it's change their behavior, follow a link to a website, submit an application. We want to be very clear on that and make sure that our video accomplishes that goal.
When I was on the other side of it, meaning I didn't own a marketing company, you would go and talk to a video company and they'd say, okay, it's going to be, to produce a video, it's going to be $2,000 to $5,000 per finished minute. So some of the things that we do that are different is when we shoot video, we will shoot probably quite a bit of video, and so that way we can break that video apart into a lot of different segments.
We try to film as much as we can so that we can make as much video content as possible, because really that day on set, that day of production, is the most expensive, it's the most logistically difficult to set up. So if we can get as much content as possible right out the gate, that can sustain us for a long time. In terms of what we do with the content, usually we try to make one or several longer videos that are more deep, they go more into the subject matter. Then from those longer videos, we usually find little segments. So now we're going vertical video and it's only 60 seconds. It's going to be on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or Snapchat. We've even started playing around with that. A single short can be seen by 4,000 or 5,000 people in a single day with essentially nothing else going on around it. Usually the longer form videos don't see that kind of outreach. So the shorts are great for driving engagement with the channel, and if someone watches the short or clicks on the short, then it's a lot more likely they're going to be recommended the full length video when that comes out.
So our video costs end up being a lot less per finished minute because we can produce 10, 15, 20 videos instead of just being focused on one single video.
We usually bring a handful of cameras to the filming location, whether that's the Canon C70 on a DJI gimbal for a Steadicam, whether it's the Canon camcorder. I also fly a drone. I get you aerial photography of your field, your organization, your establishment, whatever it may be. And another part of that a lot of people don't realize is we bring professional sound equipment, and it's really important to have that. It's good sound in a video is one of those things that you don't notice until it's gone. So it's very important for us to try to get the best sound quality. Sometimes it's difficult because sometimes we're out in the field, it's very windy, but we have ways around that and we really make that a focus too. I think video is one of the absolute best bang for your buck places to put your money if you're trying to get your message out there. I've thought for a long time that almost no matter what you're doing these days, you have to be that thing, but also be a content creator, because that's just how people are finding out about everything these days. So if I'm a painter, I kind of need to be a painter, but I also need to have my Instagram going. If I build boats, I gotta build boats, but I've also gotta have a YouTube channel about how I do it, you know? If you wanna let people know about your service or your product, or if you wanna educate them on something, YouTube, video, Facebook videos, there's almost nothing like it for grabbing people's attention, and there's almost nothing like it in terms of versatility of where it can be displayed and how it can be used.